Hi students, welcome to English class. Today we are going to read a very beautiful poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to understand the poem stanza by stanza and you'll be able to read and appreciate it. Here is the picture, woods covered by snow or covered with snow. Here is the title, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. An important point, don't get confused or don't mix up woods with the wood. Wood is an uncountable noun, but woods over here, woods is the word used for forest, okay? And it always takes a plural helping verb. Woods are beautiful. You cannot say woods is, and that wood, which is uncountable noun, is a different thing, okay? And that is used only as a singular. Now, it is written by Robert Frost. Now, quickly we'll see who Robert Frost is. He is known as the poet of nature. He is also famous as a modern poet and a lyric poet. You can see his picture as well. Here I have the pictures of the whole poem, stanza by stanza. This is stanza number 1. This is stanza number 2. Each stanza consists of 4 lines. This is stanza number 3 and this is stanza number 4. So the poem consists of 4 stanzas. So to start with, the first stanza, each line is explained with the help of pictures. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So the first picture, it depicts the woods where the poet is, then the house of the woods owner or the owner of the woods, and then he won't be able to see the poet stopping there. And why the poet stops there? To watch the woods fill up with snow. Now, in the first stanza, the poet says, or the poet thinks about who is the owner of the woods, and he is pretty sure that he knows the landowner or he knows the owner of the woods. However, the owner's home is far away in the village and physically he is not capable of seeing the speaker stop there to watch the snow fall in the forest. So the owner of the forest, he won't be able to see his woods filled up with snow, and secondly he won't be able who had stopped there to see this beautiful scene. So very simple. This is the paraphrasing of the first stanza. Now stanza 2, it talks about the horse of the speaker. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. Now, the second stanza, the poet, he talks about his little horse who must think it queer. Queer means he must think it strange. He gives the qualities of a human being to his horse. So we'll see what happens. Now, in the second stanza, the speaker thinks his horse must find it strange. Now, he gives the human qualities to his horse, so the horse is personified over here. Horse is given the qualities of a human being. And you know, when we give the qualities of a human being to a non-living thing, it is known as personification. It means that thing is personified. Okay. So the speaker thinks, the poet thinks that his horse must find it strange, queer mean strange, odd, to stop when there is no farmhouse nearby and there is no sign of civilization. So he is depicting the feelings of his horse. Indeed, no doubt or undoubtedly, they are surrounded only by the forest. They are in the middle of the forest and a frozen lake, and there is no sign of civilization. There no sign of habitation, and this is the longest and the darkest night of the year. So that's why the horse must think it strange or odd on the part of his rider, on the part of his owner, Why had he stopped in the middle of that um, darkest night of the year, when there is no house, no farmhouse, and no habitation around? So the third stanza, it deals with, he gives his harness bells a shake. Again, this talks about the feelings of the horse. Now the horse gives his harness bells a shake. Harness is the controlling ropes of the harness, refers to the controlling uh, ropes of the horse. And bells, you can see the pictures of bells which are tied up to the horse harness or the rope of the uh, horse, and they give a sound. When the bells are shaken, they produce a very rhythmic sound. And why he gives his harness bells a shake? To ask his master if there is some kind of mistake, because there is only the sound of the bells which are tied up to the neck of the horse, and there is no other sound except the sound of the uh, sweep of wind and downy flake, fluffy flakes which are falling from the sky. Only that sound can be heard in the surrounding. Now we'll see how the poet explains or what the poet explains in this stanza. Now the horse again it shakes the bells on its harness, and he asks the question, he asks his master or the speaker that if he had made a mistake by stopping there. By mistake he had stopped there because there is nothing else. There is no sound except the sound of the bells of the horse. Besides the ringing of these bells, and only other sound that can be heard is of that easy wind, that wind which is flowing in the forest or in the woods, and falling snowflakes which are fluffy and soft. And this sound, the wind, the sound of the wind and falling snowflakes, the snowflakes which are very fluffy and soft. And now both the sounds, they refer to what? To the complete silence in the woods. It depicts the picture how calm and quiet it was there. Okay, so this shows the picture of complete silence in the woods. Now the fourth stanza, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Now see, second and third stanza, they dealt with the feelings of the horse, but the fourth stanza, it deals with the feelings of the poet. Now here in this stanza, the poet or the speaker finds the woods very alluring, mesmerizing. He is completely mesmerized. He is completely captivated by the beauty of the woods, beauty of that beautiful scene. Both their darkness and uh, their vastness, and they are all encompassed by the beauty and silence. Now, the woods are lovely, alluring me. They are lovely, they are magnificent, okay, vast and deep, okay, they are very deep. But the poet cannot stay there for a long time. The speaker says he has obligations, he has duties to fulfill elsewhere. Maybe he is referring to the duties or obligations towards his family, his friends, okay. Thus, though he would like to stay and rest, the speaker knows there are many more miles to go. But the speaker says he cannot stay there. He wants to stay there for a long time, but his obligation or his promises, they don't allow him to do so. And he continues his journey in order to reach his destination, his final destination. Now, here the meaning is very deep. But since in exams you are only supposed to paraphrase, and in paraphrasing you cannot give the hidden meanings, so you just need to um, explain or paraphrase the apparent meaning which is conveyed in the stanza. So here the poet talks about his obligations which he has towards his families and towards his family and friends. So he cannot stop there for a long time, though he wants to stay there in that uh, silence, in that you can say that alluring company. He wants to stay there for a long time, but since he has a long journey to complete, he cannot stay there. So this was all about the explanation of the stanza or paraphrasing of the stanza. Now we'll see what is the rhyming scheme in the stanza. Now what is rhyming scheme? We label rhyming scheme by calling the first line A. Every line in that stanza that rhymes with A is labeled as A. I have explained this in my previous lecture about daffodils also. So if the first line that does not rhyme with A, if the first line you have labeled as A and the second line it does not rhyme with A, it would be labeled as B. Then continuing or going through the alphabet until you run out of the lines in the stanza, we name the rhyme scheme after the patron. Now this will help you to understand now whose woods these are. I think I know. Then the second line, his house is in the village though. Now see, no and though both rhyme, so both we have given the name A. Okay. Then the third line says, he will not see me stopping here. Now here it does not rhyme with first two lines, so here we will give this line the name B. Then the fourth line, it ends up in snow and that rhymes with the first two lines. So again, this will be given the name A. Okay. Then the second stanza, it starts with my little horse must think it queer. Queer again, it rhymes with here, here and queer. So again, we are going to give this line the name B. And near again, it rhymes with queer. This is also B. But then lake, it neither rhymes with A nor with B. So here we will add up one more alphabet, that is C. And then year again it rhymes with B, so we'll give this name the B. Okay. Shake, it rhymes with lake, so this is again C. Lake, mistake, again it is C. But then sweep, sweep doesn't rhyme with any of these, neither with A, B or C, so sweep will be given the name D. Okay. Then again flake, it rhymes with shake, so this is again C. And again sweep, it rhymes with deep, so this is again D. Keep, deep, sleep, and sleep is repeated. So this is how we derive or we figure out the rhyming scheme of the poem. Hopefully you would have understood today's lesson. Thank you so much for listening.